All right, let's begin this campaign. And I won't lie, I am pretty damn nervous about starting episode 1. You know that got that new campaign jitters. Okay, so before we begin, this is the new campaign. This is the Mokhul Empire. We haven't actually come up with a name for it yet, so we're just going to leave it as the Mokhul Empire until you guys, I don't know, come up with a group name. You know, do your usual stuff like that.
Yeah, we need to know what the fuck we're doing in the campaign yet.
Yeah, obviously, before we name it. So for now, it's just called the Mokhul Empire, because it is set in the Mokhul Empire. We have, first of all, before we begin, we'll go around and just basically tell your class and your race, and then we'll dive into your characters during roleplay. So, Arne, who are you playing?
I'm playing Grilder Ironblood. He's a dwarf, male dwarf, and he is a war mage.
All right, nice. And what about you, Curtis?
I'm going to be playing Macro. He is a bugbear barbarian.
Yeah, that alliteration.
I stutter. I don't know why I wanted to say it with a stutter, but it was a lot of b's in a row then.
Okay, and what about you, Todd?
I am playing Elijah Aubrey, and he is a bard and an Azamar.
Ooh. All right. Mysterious. All right, so you ready, guys? You ready for that intro?
Oh, let's do it.
All right, so the year is 965 AR, and 5 days away from the continent of Rhapsos celebrating the God King's Ascension Day. Rhapsos is a beautiful continent of sweeping coastal hills and glittering bays of transparent waters. Once made up of 3 large city-states, the continent is now just one, ruled by the Mokhul Empire. Splitting the continent in two are 2 dominant colossal deserts, the Crystal Wastes and the Yellow Sea. Tall mountains range this way and that between both deserts, cutting a knife-wound path. To the west, the dangerous and wild marshes of Trejo hold mysteries beyond comprehension to the normal mortal mind. To the north, Port Phobos plays host to the Pirate Prince and his kingdom, and to the east, Rokul, the sister city of Mokhul, holds the dead in grand celebration. Dotting the land between these great settlements are something entirely unique to Rhapson culture, not seen anywhere else in the world. Monoliths, rising and soaring constructions of the gods themselves. Many are visible, controlled, and used, while many of these fortresses await to be explored by those daring enough. But our story begins in Mokhul City, at the heart of the Empire and the seat of the God King's power. Here, the River Nir slices through the eastern part of the city, becoming straight narrow canals that crisscross the city's oldest districts like capillaries in a body built of sandstone. The Grand Pyramid Palace, called the Moonlit Shield, overlooks the city from a great vantage point, peering into the homes that surround the nearby Marketplace Bazaar, the House of Light, the floating Grand Obelisk in front of the Grand Hippodrome. The palace's south face gazes upon the Bay of Spears and the jewelled waters of the Silver Wharf, where a dozen water reams are docked at any one time. But our story begins in one of the first districts of Mokhul City, a small rundown town called Shire Dell, whose squat sandstone houses bake in the midday sun, but are shadowed during sunrise and sunset due to the rising cliffs that flank it. Somewhere in the south of Shire Dell, a large humanoid groans and shifts in his sleep. His eyes roll back, and sweat mingles with his musk, plastering his fur to his body. He shifts and remembers, continuously remembering over and over, like he'd already been weighed and found terminally guilty, damned to endure the afterlife in agony. He dreams of a battle outside the walls of Phebo, where he and his wife are pressed shoulder to shoulder in a phalanx. He clutches his titanmall and recalls the slick perspiration that stuck to his body. On his right, his wife thrusts forward with a spear and catches a Theoboian hoplite betwixt the eyes. On his left, his captain, a stout dwarven blood knight, follows this up by slipping a fatal blow beneath the hoplite's shield and kicking him in the groin. The dreaming one breaks ranks and swings his maul in a wide arc and crushes 3 rebels in a row. Their face is now a mess of gristle, bone, and airborne teeth. Then a horn blows. That damn horn. It blows again, and then again. 3 times means a cavalry charge. But wait, that is the horn of his allies, the horn of the Mokhul army. As all 3 of them hold their ground and push back against the wall of shields, they glance backwards. Their ranks are falling, and the cavalry charge was already on its way. Men and women screamed, wailed for retreat. The captain growled, ordered ranks to be shattered and to be run to the side. People were trampled, skulls crushed, ribs snapped, legs shattered. But the dreaming man was too late. He turned to shield his wife, but his own cavalry smashed into her body and his. He spun, vision blurry, pain racing all over. Weapon spun away in a whirling torrent of madness. When he hit the ground, he gasped and turned swiftly to reach for her, but she was already a few feet away. He begun to crawl, but the horse's legs kept coming, hitting her, hitting him, hitting her, hitting him, and before he knew it, she was pulverized beneath hooves, and he was unconscious. But in that dream, there was a scratching sound, like rats on floorboards. He started awake, shouted, and raged, just to find his daughter, Mimi, looking rather shocked and scared at the end of his bed. She has a quill and parchment in her hands, like she'd just finished drawing something, and she stares at you, Macra, and says, Papa?
Mimi, what are you doing up at this time of night?
Night? Papa! And she runs towards the shutters, flings them open, and light blazes in, and immediately blinds you.
Oh, Mimi. What time is it?
I don't know, but I saw Mama again last night.
You what?
Yeah, she keeps staring at me through the window.
Mimi, we've had this conversation before, though. You know she's no longer with us.
She looks at you, and you see that she's got bugbear bed head, where you see that part of her like furry face is just completely flat up to her ears, and her ear twitches slightly, and you see that she's still got the loose remains of the pink bow that your sister had given her the day before. And she goes, "Yeah, I understand that. Mum's dead." No, but she was there, Dad, again. That's why I came in here, to stay with you. But you were groaning and shouting again, and, you know, I thought I'd look after you.
But that's not what dead means. Dead doesn't mean that she shows up outside the window.
Okay. Anyway, I drew this for you, and she hands you over a piece of parchment.
Thank you. Come here.
And I'll like lick my hand and then run it through her hair, like across her face, just to try and stick her head on, try and
Yeah,
knit her
she's
off
like,
a bit.
"Ugh, Pa!" And she kind of like fights with you a little bit, and she's getting strong. She's getting strong. She just hits you straight in the chest, and then runs off and scuttles back into the kitchen.
Ah, you little git. Go clean up your sister and get ready for the day.
Okay.
I'll have a look at this picture.
Okay, so the picture is strange. It's two stick figures. One looks to have a set of horns, and she's kind of coloured it in green, whereas the other one looks to be a stick figure with what looks like a man with a big ball on his head. Big black ball, you're not quite sure. Except he has a sword in his hand.
That's bizarre. Well, I don't think I'll be sending off to the Artisan Guild anytime yet. Maybe a couple of more years yet before that. Alright, let's get to it.
And
Okay,
I'll
so,
put the
yeah.
picture down on the dressing side table and get myself ready.
Yeah, you climb out your sleeping pallet. And at the moment, you can just hear the sounds of the waves outside on Sherdell hitting the Bay of Spears. It's the constant that you're used to. It's soothing, but as you starting to get ready and you peer out to the kitchen, you can hear the tap, tap, tap of your sister's cane on the wood. Then tap, tap, tap. Tap. Fixu! Get your ass down here! And you hear your other daughter's hurried feet come down to the kitchen.
God, it's a good thing she's keeping him in line. No idea where to even start with them two.
Okay.
Alright then, let's get to it.
Alright, as you walk out into the kitchen, you see breakfast is being served. Your sister has set up basically a small breakfast of fish and figs, apples, grapes, and last night's bread, basically. And as you take your seat, your two daughters stare at you. The older one, silent, strong, the one that never cried when she found out about her mother, just begins eating, and then she just looks at you and says, "Pa,
Fix it.
what's a cunny?"
What's a what?
I heard the neighbours shouting about it last night. What's a cunny?
Ask your auntie.
And then you see your sister
need
just
to be there in the
just
neighbourhood.
glares at you with beady black eyes and just grits her teeth and just goes,
It doesn't matter for now. Maybe when you're older.
she shrugs. I'll ask a Caesar. She begins eating.
Yeah, you do that.
And your sister walks up to you and says, before you woke up, Eros came to see you, said he has some job for you to earn some gold. We really need it, you know.
Oh, shit. Such a prick, though.
I'll take the kids to Temple. You go about your business.
Right. You better be dealing with him on an empty stomach.
Alright,
And I'll leave the food for the kids and make my way out.
Mm-hmm. Alright, so as you make your way out, above you, you can see Barkabas, your neighbour, the guy that lives, the half-orc that lives in the apartments above you, leans over and he's smoking a pipe and he just spits, barely missing you, and it hits the ground. You know, morning!
You get pretty every day, don't you?
Behind him, you see his wife, a green-skinned tiefling, lean over, and she just nods, runs back inside, just curious as to who he was talking to. He says, that fancy elf came looking for you again.
I've heard. I'm gonna pay a visit now.
And you see he points a thick green finger down towards the beach, where you see a bunch of fishermen are kind of like hacking up a hippo shark on the beach. You can see it's hanged up by 2 posts, and they're hacking it with machetes, cutting it open, all the guts slopping into big buckets. And there, in his purple robes with gold trim, is Eros Sant, the Magister of Shaidel. Hands behind his back, his caramel-coloured skin glistening with sweat in the morning sun, and he's just kind of staring at these fishermen going about their business, and he's going, yes, oh, noble job, yes, fishing is a noble job, feeding the populace. And he turns, and his brown eyes regard you, and he goes, excellent, Makra, you are awake. And he begins walking towards you with all of the pompous arrogance of nobility.
I'll look up to the orc and so
Right, look after yourself, you big green bastard.
Yeah, good day, yeah?
I'll go and meet up with the
Okay,
Magister that's striding towards me.
the Magister kind of meets you halfway, so you basically enter at the mouth of one of the roads that leads onto the beach. Yeah, he puts his hands behind his back, straightens his spine, and just stares at you in the eyes and goes, Makra.
Oh, wait. And you've got something for me?
I do. Is there some way we can talk? Or... He looks around left and right. Is it here fine?
I imagine so, unless you want somewhere a bit quieter.
Oh, okay, well... I have a job for you. Involves gold payment, of course. Or in platinum,
Right.
platinum if you prefer smaller coin.
It's always a good start.
Yes, of course. You see, it's a bit embarrassing. Ascension Day is coming up. That means re-election day for Magisters. And, well, around Shaidel, I don't know if you've heard, there's been a little bit of burglary. And I just wanted to sort it out, you know. Find out who did it. Bring them to justice, all of that palaver.
Nah, make yourself look good for re-election day.
Oh, you'll be rewarded, of course, Macro. Of course.
No, that's how healthy commerce works.
He kind of like elbows you slightly and goes, you are my right-hand man, you know. The strong arm of Shaidel. It's, everyone knows you.
Maybe you should just try doing it a bit more often, though. You know, not just when it's
Yeah.
politically beneficial.
Well, like, I have... Well, the Hound Guard do have evidence, you see. And, well, it's confusing. And he reaches into his pocket and hands you something. They found this on the scene, and it's like maybe an 8-inch long, thin glass needle.
What on earth is that?
Well, I don't know. You see, I was hoping that this could help you find the subjects involved. Oh, and I am trying to get other help to help you, you know. Like, I'm not insulting you, of course, Makra. I'm just saying that there are other people with minds akin to investigation. Whereas I think you, and he kind of like grabs your muscular, hairy arms and goes, are good for intimidation and breaking kneecaps and such, of course.
No. Yeah, I probably would need a little bit of help. It's not too far. Why would someone that can make stuff like this be? Who is he nicking?
Well, it seems to be people of my ilk, yes.
Ah, so even more money than what he's probably got then. Right, makes sense.
But,
Alright, so is this my only lead? Who else am I talking to?
well, that's the thing. I have a friend that, well, she's told me that her brother's out of work and could do with gold as well, so I was heading along there now to wish her well. She has had an accident of late, and I just wanted to make sure that she was okay. She broke her leg during a performance. Oh, damnations, eh?
That does sound quite ironic, actually.
What do you mean ironic?
Well, you know, don't break a leg, go break a leg.
Ha! That's not funny, as he smiles.
Right, come on then. I'll go meet you with him.
Okay, he looks around and goes, let's get a carriage.
Whatever you fancy.
Okay, and he...
Grit my teeth audibly. You can fucking hear the...
Yeah, and as you guys walk past out of Shydale and towards the common docks, there it's easy to get like a horse-drawn carriage that'll take you all the way to the Iron Shield House.
I'll wait for him, so I'll just be stood like a good 10 foot back as he calls a carriage and everything gets into it, and then once he's in, I'll cautiously make my way into it.
Correction, Iron Blood House. Sorry. But
That's
yes, as you reach into the carriage, the Magister reaches forward and hands a silver piece to the topless worker there, and he goes, Iron Blood House, if you would, slave. And the slave just nods and begins riding away. So we move over to Elijah.
Hello.
So Elijah, you sit in the dank and dark antechamber. Beyond the the oak door that's painted like kind of a rustic red, you can hear shouts. Lady Obsidian chastising some of her subjects. Her Minotaur, also known as Big Bruce or Brucey, depending what how familiar you're with the man, stands there and he just snorts, and the golden ring in his nose tinkles a little bit, and he just looks at you and goes, oh, she's probably gonna kill them.
Business as usual then, Brucey, is it not?
Oh, it's always business as usual. Don't worry. I think you're safe.
It's a good thing I'm always on the mistress's good side, isn't it? And always on your right side.
Yeah. And you see he pat the hand axes at either side of his belt. And Brucey himself is kind of like an auburn-coloured Minotaur with one broken horn and the other sweeps back from his head. He has a few missing teeth as he smiles, but he has a fuck ton of like bling that just spreads round his neck and just twirls on ropes of gold, coming down to a bare chest where he wears a kind of a folded kilt that travels down one of his legs and is like overlapped with studded leathers. And he just kind of like, as he moves forward, he goes, I found some of that stuff.
Did you now?
Are you interested?
Yeah, you know me, Brucey. I'm always looking to gild myself with the most desirable trinkets, as a man such as yourself can understand.
Yeah, you see, I probably shouldn't be taking it, because it takes a lot to get a cow like me fucked off my face. What about you? A puny human? This stuff could really put you to sleep for days, drift off, be weighed.
Oh, it wouldn't take much at all, but I'll have what you have, Brucey. I'll go toe to toe.
He reaches into his kilt, brings out what looks like a small leather pouch, and as he moves it up and down, you see it weighs a couple of pounds. It's quite like a lot of this stuff. And he pushes it over, and you feel like it's filled with like the only way I can explain it is like dried leaves crunching inside it. And he goes, 1 silver piece, and the stare is yours.
Yes, I think I can stretch to 1 silver. Take 2 for your troubles, good man.
He smiles, showing his like missing front teeth, and goes, I always liked you, Elijah.
And I know the benefit of greasing the right hands, Brucey.
Hey?
You'll always be my friend.
Oh, yeah. Alright. Okay, so you can note down that you've got 3 pounds of stare.
Good. Do you reckon she'll be long, my good man?
At that moment, the door slams open, like, and you see what stands out is like a brown-skinned tiefling with horns that protrude forwards. She is dressed rather elegantly, and she has some weird kind of contraption on her arm. Make a perception check to see if you can see any more details as they rush by. She also has a friend with her, a male, about 6'4", tall, human, broad. He has his dreads are all twisted into an afro above his head, a big round thing that flowers outwards. And as they rush by you, you just see both of them, and they run off. And behind you, Lady Obsidian goes, "And the next time you come back and you have filth, I will throw you in the filth." And, okay, so you see that the contraption on the woman's arm is something mechanical, something like almost Bretonian, like, you know, steampunk looking, except it has these, what looks like transparent liquid magic running up it as she moves swiftly past you, and you see that Bruce just watches them go and go,
Always entertaining here, isn't it? And I am such a good advocate of the arts. This should be enjoyable, eh, Brucey?
Anyway, the mistress will see you now, Elijah. Go on in.
I'll tentatively knock at the door.
Yeah.
May I enter, mistress?
You may.
I'll close the door behind me and I'll give Brucey a nod. Brucey?
And Bruce just kind of closes the door and takes his position behind you. And as the door closes behind you, to your right and left, in this kind of shadowy solar that Lady Obsidian uses, there are maybe 5 or 6 busts flanking you. Busts, like statues of men and women in their last death throes, their screams visible on their face. But they're all made out of obsidian. And all of their arms sockets and they're like where the busts have been crafted look really jagged, like as if they were once broken. And as you approach Lady Obsidian, she is a tall, muscular woman whose side of her heads are shaved. Her skin is coal black, but her eyes an intimidating amber. Her dreads, which are thick dreads that have slight glimmers of green in, spread back thickly from her scalp and then are capped in like gold somewhere down near the back, maybe near her arse, that they're that long. And as you approach, she smiles, showing you the sharp teeth that are her canines. Yes. Elijah, sit down.
My pleasure, madam.
She gestures to one of the seats that's been knocked over, by the way.
I'll flick on my wrist, attach some strings and write it, and then have a seat.
Always good parlour tricks, I see, Elijah.
What race was she again? I missed that.
I didn't say.
Might be why I missed it.
And she stares at you, Elijah, for a long, pregnant pause, and then says, "The seal, Elijah. Is the job complete?"
My apologies. I always get wrapped up looking at your wonderful collection. Here you are.
And she smiles, showing you that weird scarred tongue of hers. And then she, as you plonk the seal down on the table, she grabs it quickly, looks at it, and goes, "The quietest blades, thank you, Elijah."
Yes, I went through quite some trouble to get that one as well. A little paranoid little widget.
Really? You didn't mess up this time and accidentally slay an innocent?
Unfortunately, our blades can't all be true, can they? But no harm done this time.
Yeah, she puts the seal in one of the drawers to the right of her, locks it, brings the key up and palms it, like through some sort of ledger domain. It just disappears up her sleeve. And you see she is wearing a rather kind of light gossamer-like dress. Purple, gold stitches. It's also got some silver thread through it, barely covering up her womanhoods. And as she stands very, very tall. And she leans over you, leans in and says, "And it seems, Elijah, you have some entertainment time, leisure." And then she reaches into one of her other sleeves and through legerdemain again produces a pouch, puts it on the table in front of you. 10 platinum pieces. Like we said.
Wonderful. I feel it's an appropriate reward for my efforts, but I feel that our relationship is only just beginning to blossom, madame.
And I feel like you're forgetting something. And she puts her hand out. Is I organise everything. Where's the tip and love?
Really? I thought the tip of my blade would be all you'd need. Again, of course.
Oh, you are funny, Elijah. No, but the usual fee applies.
Very well.
10%.
I'll flick across the platinum.
She catches it, and it disappears when she opens her hand again. It's just perfect. Now, you know what you can do is trade in that money for store credit. I'm sure my girls would like to spend an evening with you. Or the boys. It really depends.
As usual, madame, I'll have to decline. You know my tastes by now.
Yeah, I do.
Anyway, I'd love to stay here and chat, and being in your good graces is wonderfully good for my ego. But you know I like to move on as quickly as I arrive. What's next?
What about your friend? Are you going to go see her?
I shall pay a visit, especially now that my pockets are lined.
He smiles. With my money. Anyway, I'm sure that the quietest blades will get in touch with me. And then, the next seal will come.
Good. And are you keeping them in a safe place like we originally agreed?
Yes.
Well, that is heavy weights lifted off my shoulders. Anything else, madam?
No. I am thankful for our partners in Bretonia. Good luck, Elijah. You will hear from me.
Brucey.
And as you go away, good luck, Elijah. See you soon.
And I'll exit, and I will begin to make my way out and towards my very, very ill friend.
Okay, so we move on to Grildar. Grildar, as you approach home, which isn't home because you're an even, the guards surround the residence, all just kind of, they don't stop you or anything, they let you in, and you see that all the dwarven guards are kind of like smiling to see you come. The one that you first see is Brock, and he just goes, "Morning, Grildar."
Morning, Brock. Are you well?
Yeah, your sister's got us running rounds. You know.
Which one is it this time?
Who do you think? The actor, he says.
Yes, she always had a sense for the dramatic.
In fact, I think she said that she was waiting on you. And she told me to give you this. And he reaches into his pocket, goes, and hands you a book.
And what's this?
I don't know. And you see it's your sister's favourite play.
Well, this can't be good for anyone. Let's go and see what she wants now.
Alright, so you head into the main antechamber and you can see that the servants are going about their usual business. And are you heading straight to your sister's bedroom, or are you doing anything else?
Nah, let's deal with business as business comes.
Alright, so as you walk up to Lasria's room, it's lavishly decorated, and you can see there's a guard outside, and he looks at you and he goes, not even the clerics could fix the leg properly. She's going to be trapped in the bed for 3 or 4 days.
May your change of watch come soon.
He looks and goes, is it morning? It is morning, right?
It is.
A few more hours at most. And then you hear inside, Guard! Guard! I want herbal tea now. And he goes, I best be off. And you see him run off down.
I just nod with like a nod of understanding with this predicament. Say, off you go then. Judy calls.
Okay, so you peer into the room.
Hello, voice. How are you today?
She laughs. Says, Shield. Come on in. Come on in, I've been waiting on you.
Yes, by the sounds of it, that's what everyone's been doing. Waiting on you.
As you walk into the room, you see that she's thrown the guards have thrown the curtains open onto the balcony, overlooking the Lady Luck shrine on the hill in the distance and all of the farmland beneath, all this beatific countryside. And she is sat up in bed with one leg covered in tons of bandages, spotted with blood. And beside her is a rather tired, dreary-eyed, rheumy-eyed cleric. He looks at you, nods, and then leaves the room. And she goes, "Yeah, get gone, please." And as he leaves, she goes to you and goes, "My book. I'm assuming you've got it?"
Yes, I do.
Oh, come on, Shield. Read to me like we used to, like when we were kids.
Really?
Please.
Look, I know that you think your leg is bad, but it's going to be fine. So stop moping and just get out of bed and do something. It's unbecoming of you to be like this.
I can try. I honestly can try. And she does. She gets up and I'm going to roll an acrobatics check. Oh, she falls straight over. She just falls down and she goes, oh, god damn those strings. Why did I ever agree? Oh.
Always the actor, huh?
I'm not acting, brother. Just read me the damn book, friend. Please, Shield. She climbs up onto the bed, lifts her leg up, hisses, and then says, "Look, I've done you a favour, all right? That's what I called you here for."
You have?
Yes.
Explain.
I know since you've lost your captaincy in the Blood Knights that you've needed work and you've been a little mopey and you don't know what you're up to. I mean, look, I can know that in those years where I was learning to act and learning to play the instruments, and Father was all like, "Oh, Lasria, you're useless. Acting isn't a proper career." And I was like, "Just you wait and see. See, now I see it in your eyes. You're exactly like I was then. You have no inspiration. You have no flumph. I can't think of the word, Shield. I can't think of the word."
I desire no flump, and I feel you're projecting, but I'll read to you.
And as you do, remember that I've only asked Eros over, and you kind of sigh because you know the man, because he has work for you.
This had better be good.
I promise it won't be anything too bad, and you'll get your gold pieces, and maybe you can have a good time on Ascension Day. Maybe meet a lovely dwarf lady.
I'll open the book and start reading.
Yeah, so you flip open the play, her favourite play, The Methuselah's Obsidian Blades, and as you begin to read the opening chapter about how the original Methuselah was actually an assassin of the Yellow Wastes. It's obviously pure fiction, blown out of proportion to the real story, but the drama in it, you can't deny, is fantastic. And it's only maybe 10 minutes in of reading this that you hear his voice. "Oh yes, of course, show me up to her room when you go." He's here, basically. Eros is here.
Well, here we go.
Mm-hmm. And as you begin to stop reading and close the book, the door opens, and behind the door, as it opens, you see the stick-thin figure of the elf Eros Sant. And he looks around the room and goes, beautiful. Walks in. Behind Eros comes Makra. Makra, do you want to describe what you look like to Grilda? And Grilda, do you want to describe what you look like to Makra?
So, walking through the door, while ducking underneath the door is a 6'7", just slab of hairy meat. Cut thick in hair, pretty dishevelled looking, because he's pretty much only just woke up, not really had a shower. Showering not one of his frequent hobbies, it looks like, as well, and wearing not much else other than his fur and a bit of a loincloth. But most noticeably, and as the ungodly sized maul on his back that just doesn't look like it'd be effectively wielded in any shape or form by anything.
Yeah, and quite the opposite. You see, Grilder is about whatever that is in feet, 1 meter 22. I think that's like 4 feet.
Mm-hmm.
So little over half your size, and pretty stout, about 160 pounds or so. But a little bit fat, but strong fat, not fat.
Strong fat.
As dwarves are wont to be.
Black hair, and unlike dwarves, even his beard is like slicked and tied back in a very tidy knot under his chin. And he's not wearing a military uniform, because you know what the military uniforms here look like. But if you didn't know the customs, he might as well be in military uniform. Everything is in place and clean and tidy, and looks like it's brand new today. And he sits there and looks at you, and as you enter behind Arlasant, closes the book and sighs deeply and says, "Well, welcome, I suppose."
Both of you make intelligence checks. Just straight intelligence checks.
Greetings.
Well,
Wow.
Never mind. Neither of you recognise one another. Your sister, Lasvia, says, "Thank God you've arrived, Eros. Please, could you do the honours?" And then Eros walks in, says, "Yes, of course." And then your sister goes, "No, wait, please wait. I'm waiting on somebody else. You see, I have another actor friend that said he was looking for work too." Eros then goes, "Look, this type of work, Lasvia, it's not for actors. It's not for, like, the likes of us. It's tough, laborious, sweaty work, of course. Like Macra could do here." And he pounds a weak fist against your chest, Macra. "And of course your fantastic Blood Knight. Oh, sorry. Brother, ex-Blood Knight. Oh, what do I call you, Grilda? I apologise. Many apologies, sir."
the shield is fine.
The Shield. Oh, fantastic name. Fantastic. The Shield. Oh, denotes strength, protection. Oh, I wouldn't want to mess with you.
As this conversation is going on, I'll just glance over at Macra and roll my eyes at him.
I'm just trying my hardest not piss myself at him, just squirming.
Yeah, and I'll take a seat. And he dabs the perspiration on his brow with his handkerchief and just walks over, takes a seat.
Sweaty work indeed.
Yes, of course. Much like politics, the cloak and dagger, the fighting. But anyway, and at that moment, another person is welcomed into the house below, and you can hear the guards leading him upstairs. He's got a tight clip to his gate. Are you there, Toddles?
Yes.
Okay, so what do they see as you walk through the door?
A cloaked figure enters, completely cloaked in a black, long, almost kind of robe-like attire, but it's all completely black. It's ragged at the bottom and kind of matted with the mud of the city as he's walked through it. The only thing visible is a long, white Commedia dell'arte mask that has a protruding nose that goes straight downwards, obscuring all of his face except for two dark kind of eye holes which show no emotion or gesture whatsoever.
Before you continue, can you explain to me what the hell that is?
It's one of the, almost like a plague mask.
Right, okay, like the plague doctor masks.
Yeah, but it covers his whole face, and the nose goes straight downward as opposed to out, like beak-like, down towards his kind of almost navel. It's very long. There's no skin showing at all, and his movements are wooden and almost robotic in the way he moves. And as Liam says, every time his feet hit the floor, there's a clack, as if he's wearing wooden clogs or something like that.
Okay, and then that's when Lasvia goes, "Oh, Elijah, darling! Come!" And she just puts her hand forward to grab you. Come.
Hello, my dear.
And
it's been a while.
She pushes her hand out towards you.
Obviously, he doesn't take it. Just hands remain deeply in the folds of his cloak.
She goes, these are the people I was telling you about, Elijah. This is my brother. We call him, I call him the Shield, but his name is Grildar, and she introduces you.
A pleasure.
This is Eros. He's a friend of mine. The one I was telling you about that needed a job done.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
I do remember this vague conversation.
Yeah.
They're always such pleasant things.
Eros stands. He's like I explained earlier. He's kind of like a tanned coloured look to his skin, and he's got. I forgot to explain also that he's completely bald, pointy ears. As elves will want to do. But his ears droop slightly, and he moves towards you and goes to shake your hand. again, and then kind of like, obviously you don't go to do it, I'm assuming.
I like how you didn't say that he was bald, but I just had a fucking thing out of Game of Thrones in my head anyway.
Oh, okay, fair enough. And he goes to, he goes, oh yes, oh no, I guess I've lost Discord. Back, let's...
I'm back here, we level 20.
Hey, I'm back.
So we're all level 20 now.
Yeah, no, I don't think so. Alright, so yeah, he goes to shake your hand, and...
I'm afraid not, my friend.
yes,
Sorry.
That's fine, that's fine, of course,
Personal afflictions.
No, apologies. Yeah, okay. And Lasvia says, look, Eros, just please explain to everyone what you have before they all die of boredom. And Eros says, okay, all right, fair enough. Well, as I've told Macra here, a stand-up fellow, that, yeah, there have been some burglaries around the Shiredale market area. Yes, it's been a difficult one because strange things have been happening. Yeah, and most of the city are, you know, tied up with that cult of the Feyfather, so they're dealing with that. But I thought I'd take it on my own initiative, of course, to solve the crimes. With your help, of course. Look, there is money involved, and with Ascension Day coming up, money is always useful. I mean... I'm surprised people like Makrar and Grildar here haven't signed up for the fights. You know, this money could go towards health insurance.
Do we have any leads other than the burglaries have been taking place all in one area?
Well, there is one clue, and also there is a building in the market district near the House of Coin that is still closed by the Hound Guard, which you can obviously, I can show you to, and you can visit and take a look around. But this, and he takes the needle out of Makrar's pocket and points it towards you guys. Thin glass needle, 8 to 10 inches long. Makrar, because he obviously doesn't have the skill that I'm after, it's just looks like a piece of glass. But if any of you have proficiency in Arcana, you can make it. If not...
Question, would I have any knowledge of this from my backstory? Because I feel like I probably would if he would have shown it.
Who? Solinus.
Whisper you something, yes.
Yeah, okay. Whisper me something so I know what you're talking about. So he hands this glass needle over to you, Elijah, or just puts it on the desk and says, this was left behind, plus a very strange crime scene. You'd really have to see it. I mean, it's hard to explain. Everything's, well, crazy. I don't know any way to put it. But there is one thing that an onlooker saw 2 figures fleeing the scene.
2, that's interesting. Any thoughts, gentlemen?
Well, work is work. Seems easy enough.
I'm up for it. I reckon we need to go and explore this crime scene.
Wow, what insight. Yes, I guess we can take the job.
Oh, fantastic. Okay, so money okay, so ideally I'd want these people found alive. I mean, you know, leave it to the justice system, have the Hound Guards and have them taken to the House of Answers. But if that fails, friends, and you can prove that these guys or these people were involved, well, it's 500 gold pieces each.
What is it if we bring them back alive? Is that the alive price?
That is the alive price, of course. I mean, I don't want to, you know, fuck you over, so to speak, as they would say in Shiredale, Makra. But it's just a cost, you know. Like I'd say 300 gold pieces if you fail to bring a confession. How's that?
Reasonable. But we need a bit of a front up now. Maybe 10% for now. Cover the costs.
Alright, so Grildar, you can make me an Arcana check.
Okay.
Ooh, get the fuck out of it.
Alright, I'm gonna whisper you well, fuck it, I'll say it out loud. Okay, so immediately, Grildar, as you pick it up, delicate in your hand, you immediately recognise this type of magic. It's very similar to one of your old teachers, magics. And if he was here, it would be brilliant because this is when you guys walk along to meet Rocket's character. Yeah, you see how I planned it all to work out, and it didn't because he didn't turn up. But yeah, anyway, it's definitely a hard like needle.
That's what I figured.
Yeah, one of the types of magic that your teacher Solinus used to use. Shamefully, personally, you know that Solinus is not in city at the moment. He's on an expedition with Wiltix and will be back shortly. So, questions for
convenient.
I have seen this before. I do recognize this material, and I should be able to tell you a bit more about its location given some proper study.
And how long would you need for said study?
Well,
Oh, Discord's being weird. We will be right back. Discord's being weird today.
Yeah, it's been weird for everyone now. I thought it was just my internet going there. And then all I heard was you in a very robotic voice would say, Discord's being weird.
What's the last thing you heard? Because I heard Todd ask how long, and I gave an answer. Did you hear that or not?
No,
I didn't hear your answer.
I said perhaps around about 2 hours or so. It would help if I could see where this was found.
Good. Oh, of course. I could take you there.
That brings us back to the crime scene. It seems very peculiar, though, something as fancy as that. Sure, there's not too many people that can make that kind of thing.
Indeed, quite particular craftsmanship is involved.
Excuse me, gentlemen, may I interject before we put in any real effort into this? I, for one, feel remotely insulted that a group of fine professionals have been offered 500 gold pieces for such a monumental task on our time. Perhaps I could haggle potentially to 1 platinum piece, or have I missed a gist of something?
I think you said 500 each.
Haggling to 1 platinum piece, I think you're missing the gist of currency conversion.
That might be because my understanding of D&D isn't very good. What's I thought 1 platinum piece was 1,000 gold pieces.
No, it's 10.
Jesus wept. I was shortchanged in the other bloody place. Perhaps I could haggle us not anymore. I feel that's a wonderful amount.
Errol says yes. I think
played your hand here.
I mean, I don't mean to be forward, but I think I've paid enough. And you see, he sinks back away. Like,
if we bring them back alive, I'm sure the 500 each will be suffice. And if we bring them back with a particularly convincing argument, I'm sure extra bonuses.
And I just like lean and start. You don't even notice it, but a part that you do, just something happens where it's just suddenly I'm all over the Magister in one go at the same time as not.
Extra bonuses.
Perhaps what our subtle friend here would like to suggest is that you can always pay with more.
Okay, first things first, I would say this is a classic intimidation check. So, obviously, Elijah and Macro are helping one another. It just depends who wants to roll it.
If I'm allowed to roll it with strength, I'll do it at that. But I think I think our creepy friend over there is probably the better one.
Let me have a quick look. Hang on. I think it's fairly good, actually.
Yeah, I imagine you definitely got a good you creepy fucker.
Hey Curtis, can you do me a favour while Todd's looking for that? Can you, for some reason I can't see your camera?
Oh,
that's weird. I need to refresh it then.
Yeah, it's just continuously loading.
Am I going mad?
Working now for you, Liam?
Huh?
Is it working for you now?
No, but it's okay.
That's you can just leave the call and join back and it should work.
Be right back. There he is. The beautiful face. Right, yeah, okay, so you don't have it, Elijah?
No. I don't even have it on my character sheet.
You're right, you don't. So
how weird.
Just roll a charisma check. We'll add that later.
Is that a saving throw or?
No, because you don't have it proficient, so it's just.
Why do you not have fucking?
Because he has persuasion, I think, and stuff like that.
Oh, I can do persuasion.
It's not persuasion. You're definitely intimidating the guy. But no,
that was dog balls.
not that it matters. But Eros goes, look here. I think that I am putting enough gold pieces out of my own coffers. So I believe 500 each, if you get a confession, is perfect. In fact, it's exemplary, just like me.
Yes, very good. Now, if you don't mind, can we get to business?
Of course. Lasvia, it's been a pleasure, as always. And Lasvia, and he leans forward, and she hands her hand over to him, and he grabs it and kisses it just above the hand, but like in the air, so he doesn't actually touch. I shall come back and bring you a gift to speed your recovery. And she says, oh, thank you, Eros. Too kind. And he goes, and off we go! Adventure ho! And he walks out the door.
Right then, let's go be seeing this crime scene then.
Okay, so you guys leave the Ironblood residence, straight through the Injuli Valley, up through the main city. It is bustling. 5 days to go to a session day. The place is like an ant's nest. There are people everywhere. And
just before we go, I would like to just speak to the captain of the guard and try and find the guard that's the most hard of hearing and make sure he's positioned outside my sister's room.
Yeah, perfect. Yeah, they can do that. That's old Agni, the guy that has to have like a horn put to his ear.
Horn.
And
just to force her out of bed, basically.
Yeah, nice. And as you head through the city, you pass the grand obelisk in the carriage. This huge floating obelisk dedicated to Anubis. And beyond that, the Hippodrome, where you can see there are tons of chariots being ridden into the Hippodrome. And you see there are...
The Hippodrome!
The Hippodrome, yes. Macra. It's a place that your daughters have always wanted to go to every Ascension Day. It's like the Hippodrome is the place to be. There's like blood sports, executions, chariot races, all kinds of stuff to celebrate the God King's reign.
God, the morbid little shits.
Oh yeah, they are. What do you expect? They're bugbears.
Maybe if we got a good payday from this, then they can actually...
Okay. And as you pass past the Grand Obelisk, following the road eastward, over some bridges, into the main market district, the place smells of spice. Very strongly of spice, to the point when it kind of like makes your eyes sting, like as if pepper is just right in the air in front of you. And as you approach the market district, Eros goes, thank you, and climbs out and leads you down some narrow alleyways, down some pathways, across some cobbles, up some sandstone stairs where you can see some old broken fortress ruins that the marketplace has been built upon now stands. You guys climb until he points you towards like a tower, but it's more like a house that's kind of 4 stories. And you see there's a hound guard in his classic yellow cloak, sweating in his breastplate in the morning sun, with his hound-shaped helmet, Anubis-shaped helmet, with his spear shield standing in front of the door, and he goes, "There, that's it. That's the house, friends. The warehouse that was robbed."
When we were walking through the market, though, I've been trying like very not so subtly nudging my new friends, like my stomach's just audibly growling, and it's like visceral.
Yeah,
like it vibrates like within a 5-foot radius. And it's like,
you wouldn't mind? I'll skip breakfast.
Eros goes, no, of course. And to your right, there's a Triton woman behind a market store, and she see with her machete making quick work of fish, and she just looks up at you and says, "Well, I heard that from all the way over here. Come quick. It's fresh." And then she just, with a metal net, dips it into some oil over a fire next to her, into a pot, and she goes, "The best battered fish this side of the Blue Desert."
Yes, please.
She smiles and goes, "First customers of the day, perfect." And after about a couple of minutes, she begins skewering these fish expertly, winding them up the skewers, and then lays it out on a wooden platter like a chopping board, and then sprinkles onions, spices, lettuce, pushes it forward, and she does the same for everyone if they all want breakfast. And it's going to cost you... fair enough. It's going to cost you 5 copper pieces each.
Do you have any salted fish?
I do. I have salted squid.
How long will it keep for?
It depends. Would you like it fried or just salted and prepared for later?
Salted and dried, preferably.
A few days.
Very well.
And she packs it and wraps it up in what looks like some paper and folds it into a neat, nice kind of looking envelope, and then stamps the actual both sides with wax to keep it fresh. And as she pushes it over to her, it's like a grease-proof paper, and she says, "That's a silver piece, please."
Very well.
And so you've got some salted squid. It's quite a lot. It's literally one ration's worth of food.
And I'll just look at them and just like,
Just quarter front on that payment.
Eros just chucks a few coins down. What about you, Master Elijah? Can I interest you in breakfast?
No, thank you. I'm quite well.
He goes, "I will take sweet wine, please." And she says, "Yes, of course," and delivers him a small glass. And he hands over a silver piece. And you guys sit at this stall in the market district as everything's been set up around you, just having breakfast. Does anyone want to do anything, or just while Macross scoffing this huge plate of food?
Yeah, so while Macross just munching away, Grill just takes out his pack, and you see that in his pack he takes out, in one grab, the right place, he grabs a little leather skin that seems to be about the right size to put some food in. He opens it up, tucks the food in there, tucks it back in, folds it back up, and it goes back to the backpack immaculately.
Of course.
Now, Macra was your name, yes?
Macra, over there. Name from, you know, do it.
Yes. Should you not bring some for later in case you get hungry again? We might not have time to stop once more.
Oh, yeah,
like he's not left anywhere near enough for him to actually save for later. Like, he was sitting in some longer, he was like,
yeah, good idea.
and I was just like, scrunches it up into a bowl, so where the papers and stuff it comes in. I'm like,
and I'll just tell him, don't just eat that, and I'll order another portion for him to take away.
Alright, cool. She sets it up, and it's going to cost you. Is it another portion of squid, or like what he had?
No, what he had. I don't think he's feeding the squid that much.
So it's another five. It's another five copper pieces.
give a shit out of the way.
And
Another what? 5 copper?
Yeah, and she kind of prepares it in like a bento box type thing, like a little wooden box made out of thin pine. And then she places the lid down, and you see it's got 2 tags on the side that she pulls around and seals at the bottom, and passes you over to you, Macro.
Oh, thank you very much. And I'll just look and like, I'm just wearing a loincloth and like, it's kind of like a belt as well.
Take it from him and move a few things around in my backpack and place it down in the backpack for him.
Okay.
Thank you. You're a good man, Grildo. Grildo or Shield?
Whichever you prefer.
I think we'll stick with Grildo.
Okay, so the warehouse in front of you, the free storage warehouse, is like I said, it looks rather new, built out of fresh bricks, probably imported from Bretonia. They're kind of like a red, grey, and black stone mix match. But the problem is here, you notice, and all of you are intelligent enough to know this, is its proximity to the House of Coin. It's very close to Mokhul's official bank. To be robbed in a place that's, patrolled.
High security.
Yeah, and to your left, some 1,000 feet away, you can see the moonlit shield, the palace. Its walls currently just pitch black, absorbing the midday sunlight in like kind of a wave of heat. Something that most of you are used to, who Elijah probably isn't still used to the fact that there is a huge magical artifact as a palace sitting there. The walls are kind of like a thick obsidian black colour, but as sunlight hits it, it just absorbs it and releases it as this wave that you can all see, like a heat wave, like if you're looking across the desert horizon.
Right there.
Yeah, and you notice that, of course, the flags all on the walls then ripple as if in wind, even though there isn't any because of the heat.
Yeah, it's just like when you turn the radiators on and the blinds start moving.
The blinds start moving, yes. I know exactly what you're talking about. But, of course, as you approach, the Hound Guard nods towards Eros and takes one step away, and Eros says, "Be my guest, friends. Go on in."
I'll salute the Hound Guard with
the Hound Guard
salute.
Yeah, narrows his eyes slightly and goes, "Oh, yeah, he doesn't know his proper, like, honorific." And he goes, "Fucking Captain." And he opens the door. leading you into a vast kind of lofty first floor with stairs, maybe 50 feet to your left and right, heading up to a second floor, which is all kind of railings and girders. But currently in front of you, what you see is a 50 foot by 50 foot warehouse. 100 foot by 100 foot warehouse. Empty crates filled with other stuff, like stacked up upon one another. But what stands out most is the giant purple tree that seems to have sprouted from the brickwork in the centre of the room.
That is bizarre.
Mildly concerning. Any thoughts on this, gentlemen? You seem to be quite proficient in the arcane. This is clearly not natural.
No, I'm sorry. I really don't have a clue.
I was addressing the other member of our group.
Yeah, continue. Sorry. Yeah.
Yes, I have not studied extensively, but I have some basic training. We need to have a closer look to see if this is indeed of magical nature or simply some supernatural phenomena. Let's go and have a look, and I'll approach.
Alright, cool. As you approach, the tree looms larger, as if, like, getting close to it makes it bigger somehow. It seems to, like, where it was only, like, 10 feet tall, the closer you get, it gets taller and taller and taller to the point when it reaches to the second floor, some 30 feet up, which was strange. And as you approach, you notice that it is dying. Leaves are falling all around the roots, which are kind of stuck up from the concrete below, the bricks and cobbles below, and the bark itself is bleeding this kind of yellowish, greenish sap. That's about it.
Okay. Just take out a knife from my backpack and just scrape a little bit of the sap off and smell it. See if it smells natural.
Acrid. Very unnatural. Is anyone else taking a look? I mean, you can all roll investigation checks if you want to just take a look.
I'm going to have a mundane look.
Alright, cool.
My helping with investigation checks, just picking heavy shit up and letting people like look underneath stuff and like.
That's still an investigation check. If you're picking stuff up, crates and stuff, just make a check, and we'll see what you
help
get.
Someone else anyway. I'll be helping someone.
Wow, Elijah! Look at those rolls.
Elijah,
what a stop! Jesus Christ!
I pick out another box. I'm like, I'm sure there's going to be something under this one.
Yeah. Alright, so what about you, Macro? Did you roll?
No, I was just giving one of them to advantage. I was just helping.
Oh, okay, yeah, fair enough. So, Elijah, as you're looking around the room, you do notice one thing on the floor, and you go, And as you look at it, it's small, roughly the size of a gold piece, round, juicy, bright red. It is a good berry.
How strange and vaguely reminiscent. I'll pick it up.
Alright, okay, so your hand comes out, picks it up. Grildar, however, looking around the room.
Yes, would I have noticed what his hand looked like?
Roll a perception check.
I have 15 passive, but sure.
Okay, and roll... Are you trying to hide it, Elijah?
Was your hand gloved?
Yeah, no. I'll be fairly open.
Alright,
with this
tell him what your hand looks like.
Well, it's gloved.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Okay. Okay, Grildar, what you notice is the tree is magically spawned. Also, as you peer around the room and take a quick look, you realise there's evidence of a struggle. And you immediately find a pile of dust in one corner. And as you pick it up, file through it, lift it up, it's ashes of a living person. It's on the floor. You can make an Arcana check to try and determine what caused it.
Okay, I'm not actually trained in Arcana.
Yeah, okay, fair enough. Nope. I'm afraid you don't know what caused it, but whatever did...
some magical form of fire.
Yeah, you've probably, yeah. And also, you notice that in a lot of the crates, it's grocery, like kind of like dried groceries and stuff like that. It's like dried plant matter, herbs. But what you do notice is a lot of the crates labelled from the yellow wastes are empty compared to the other ones. Where Macrol's picking up these empty yellow waste buckets and just putting them down, and then picking up stuff from Phoebos and Fowls, and as he's picking it up, he's like, oh, they're heavy, putting them back down, and they seem to be filled with different stuff.
Well, perhaps there was something once in these that someone was after, or it has something to do with what spawned this tree, and this is someone dead, burned. Something definitely happened here. That was not of a
morbid,
innocent nature. Now, as I understand, we were to question someone, but to be honest, I'll look around to see if he's still around.
Who, Eros?
Yeah.
No, he's outside.
He's outside, right? Yeah, okay. So I say, his voice kind of gets to me, so I stop paying attention. Who was it that we were meant to gather here, Elijah?
Excuse me. Sorry, say again.
Yes, that's what my response was as well. Who was it that we were meant to find exactly? Just the criminal? Did they have anything else?
Unfortunately, the details were incredibly vague. Two silhouetted phantoms, as it were.
Yeah, I think it's just the guy that's been nicking stuff. I think it's just a common burglar. I didn't hear anything about like anyone being killed or anything, but
yeah, so the question is, was
probably
something actually
ignores the-
stolen, or has it simply gone missing?
I
Let's have
don't
a
know.
further look around. Now, I'm going to try and see if there's any, like you said, there were signs of a struggle. I want to see if there's any tracks that lead away from there
Alright.
that might
Survival.
indicate where someone has gone.
Yeah, a survival check.
Makra, do you have a good sense of sight or smell? I can have a look
I'm
myself.
pretty good. I can give a sniff around. Yeah,
Nice.
I'm bursting for a wee as well. Can we have a 5 minute? Or even a 3 minute, that'd do.
Or you just run off and then, I'll tell
I'll run.
you, you run off, and then we'll go continue when you get back.
Sound.
Just come back straight away. You come back straight away. We need to roleplay you. Yeah, so with that roll, definitely Macro will find stuff. Mhm. It's a shame Rocket couldn't turn up, but you know.
Yeah, that happens.
Yes. So you can see how I was going to get Solanus into the game now.
Yeah.
God damn him. I hope he watches this to catch up.
Sorry for not talking. I'm just making notes for the session because I always struggle doing it while we're playing.
No, that's fine. That's fine. That's fine. To be fair, I should move over to the all party screen just so that we can see the map.
What do you mean, the map?
Because on OBS now, I've got like a cool roleplay screen where we're just us now instead of like a bigger screen, so we can see our faces and stuff, roleplay more. Whereas
Right.
I've got a battle screen and a roleplay screen separate.
Are you
Okay.
breaking at the moment?
Currently, because I did say Curtis needs to rush back though.
Oh, sorry, I am bursting for that. I was bursting for that. I had to go.
That's okay.
Jesus, I was dying.
No problem. Curtis will be here soon.
Oh,
Just
yes.
from the yellow waste, you said the crates were empty, right?
Sorry, what was that?
Crates from the yellow wastes were empty.
Yeah, the crates from the yellow waste were empty of what like herbs and dried goods. By
Oh,
dried
can we
goods, it's
actually
like,
determine that they had that?
yeah,
in there as
because
well?
they got
Okay.
labels. You can tell that they were like herbs, cactus, dried cactuses, medicines, chemicals, and that kind of stuff. Which means, Elijah, are you there?
Yep.
Make an intelligence check as well.
Yep, sure. Let's hope I have better luck than what I just had. Bugger. My intelligence is not very good. An intelligence check, yeah? Jesus Christ.
Just roll low, continue. Look, we know how this feels. We've all been there.
This is filthy. I've just been a level 20 god last week.
That's all you can. That's all you kind of come up with. Like, Focus. So waiting on Curtis to return so we can check out Makral's survival. Here he is. Right, are you there, Curtis?
I am.
Okay,
cool.
so
right, so
you've got 19. So
cool. So I don't know exactly what I'm looking for though. So grilled or like
yeah,
I've got a good.
I'll point you to the place where the battle happened and tell them not to disturb the ash and stuff too much, and say, look, here there was the signs of a struggle. Please have a look around and see if you can find anything else that might indicate what happened after the struggle. Clearly someone died here. I'm not sure if it was one of the combatants or if it was someone unrelated.
That's cool. And yeah, so I'll do. That's not what it used to be, but it's still pretty good in these low light conditions. It'd be better than like most humans, I imagine. Anyway, possibly most.
No, it's much
possibly
better.
dwarf
Okay,
as well.
so Makral, you follow the trail of like the struggle. You find a splatter, a very slight. Oh my god, Discord! God damn you! Reload.
Hey.
Just every time it's like, god damn Discord. All right, so what you do find is a slight spatter of blood. It was very slight that you didn't notice it, and it's kind of gone brown in the morning heat and dried up. Someone was definitely slashed here, like with a slashing weapon, like and a quite a long one because of the way that how long it is. At its length, it's like a long sword or a rapier, and as you look around, you see that there were 3 people for sure, Makral. Like 3 people entered here. And by the people who saw, the onlookers saw 2 people left. Somehow, 3 people broke in, there was a scuffle, and 2 people left. But they left with all of the goods, which is like nearly 8 crates worth. And you don't know how 2 people would have carried that.
Fighting with long weapons in a place like this seems silly.
Either remarkably professional
Well, yeah. Oh,
or brutish, one of the two.
Probably I'd lean towards the latter. Proper professional be using something a lot shorter. Let me try and swing this bloody thing around in here. I'd have no hope. But they've definitely taken like these empty crates. And how on earth would they manage that? Like, there's no signs of them leaving or even carrying anything out of here. That big.
With your survival check, you do see that they broke one of the back window's locks. It snapped and on the floor, and that's how probably they got in and out. Yeah.
How have they carried it out of this window though? Like, they'd take a full team's worth in here, and then there was no more than 2 or 3 in here last night.
Well, there are ways to transport larger amounts of goods in a compacted space. I've seen some of them at the academy, some bags that have some extra space inside. Perhaps they use one of those.
That's beyond me.
Bag of holding, rare indeed, but lends me more towards
that's what you refer to it.
To the professional end of the spectrum. What a sticky wicket we find ourselves thrust in.
Yes, any ideas on how to proceed? We haven't exactly found what we're looking for.
May I suggest a course of action? Of course, gentlemen of your superior intellect will wish to weigh upon this option much more closely. Perhaps we should study the needle we were given more closely and take these following clues elsewhere.
That is what I suggested.
Aye, so bag of holding and these fancy needles. That's got to narrow down our circle of people that can be responsible quite small, surely.
Delightfully sharp.
Oh, right, yeah.
Really proud of himself he comes to that conclusion.
Very well. Is there anything else you want to do while we're here?
No, unfortunately I feel a little groggy today. I'm not quite feeling at luck's best.
If you allow me a moment then. And I'll take out my battle axe and I'll take a chunk out of the wood.
Okay, yeah. All right. So, can you roll me a d10,000?
Shit.
Okay.
I love how you just instantly laughed. Like, I know this.
No.
849. What?
No. I'm going to keep my theory to myself, but no.
Alright, one moment. God damn it, there's so many. 4, 8, or 9.
You're trying to scroll through a list on mobile.
Yeah.
I mean, I have the list if one.
No way! Oh my god, no way! That's impossible! That's impossible!
Does a tree grow out of the ground?
You turn... Grildar, suddenly you turn into a purple tree.
That's amazing.
Like, everyone just sees Grildar go, no, 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 and just... Right next to the purple tree that's already there, turns into a giant purple oak.
That's a lot.
Everyone just kind of looks towards it, and his axe is still embedded in the original one, which is now split and turned over.
I didn't want to actually cut it down, if that makes any difference.
Yeah, no,
I just
the
wanted
moment
to
you
take
attack it.
like a little chunk out of it.
Yeah, the moment you attack it.
Yeah, cool.
Dude,
Is that something he normally does?
dude, I gotta whisper you something.
Go ahead.
It's...
It's hilariously random, though, that happens.
That's awesome.
Literally 1 in 10,000 chance of that happening.
No, it's not, because I already rolled that. I already rolled that one when I was designing the room. You
No,
rolled...
so it's even more than that, then, isn't it? It's 1 in
Unless I
10,000.
can't prove it because I don't know. I can't unless I scroll all the way to the top when I designed it to look at the D10,000 I rolled. But it's literally the wording of the exact same one I rolled when designing the room. What are the chances of that?
The same number
Nah,
on 2
there must be 2 of them. There must be 2 or 3 or 4 of them on the document. Anyway, yeah. So and you give it.
Do I still hear or see?
Yeah, you still hear, see, and all that stuff.
Real
Knock
that.
on the wood.
You knock on the wood and Grildar, you get a kind of bonk, bonk, bonk.
Perhaps try chopping him down.
Yeah, I'm not arcane implied, but I don't even think that's a good idea.
Pity.
So, Makra, Elijah, you have
What
2.
are what are my options for spellcasting at the moment?
None.
Ah,
We'll get so Makra and Elijah. It just happened right in front of you, out of nowhere. Grildar just sprouts into a giant tree, and outside you hear Eros go, "Everything all right in there?"
Not really. No, maybe. I don't know.
Perhaps we could use your assistance.
He comes in and goes, "Oh, there's 2 now."
Yes, these are one of our acquaintances.
Oh wait, yeah. Also, can I message Grildar or something?
mm-hmm.
Yeah, that one's Grilder.
He appears to have taken on the qualities of...
Okay. And at this point, you see that the tree starts like rooting up and starts walking out the door.
It just gets stuck on the edge of the door.
There we go.
And just try and snap one of the branches off to get through.
Yeah, and as it, yep.
And I'll walk back in afterwards, and I'll just like raise my branch to like a in a shrug.
Eros goes, just begins screaming.
Oh yeah, and I'll do that once I'm back inside. I'll see if I can get out and then go back
No,
in.
you can't get out at the moment.
How bizarre.
It is a different role, guys. I realised it's slightly different when I reread it.
It's still awesome.
Yeah.
So, do you have any suggestions as to what we could be dealing with here and how to reverse this? I am growing quite tedious of our time in this room.
No, let's take him to the magicians and shit. Yeah. Let's go take him to
The House of Answers, perhaps?
That sounds very... Yes.
A fair walk.
How heavy is this tree?
Eros goes, are we not going to do anything about the fact that there's a walking tree?
Yeah, I'll go and grab the tree. How heavy is the tree?
How heavy are you, Gildor?
165 pounds.
So it's about maybe 500 pounds, give or take.
Piece of piss, yeah. I'll pick it up, throw it on my shoulder.
Tie a rope around it. You've got it. Good.
Fucking wild magic, yo.
So I'll put the tree on my shoulder, and then we go and walk it to the magic place.
Alright, so yeah, you begin walking down the street. Eros is like, where is Grildar?
He's on my shoulder.
That is not Grildar, that is a tree.
It's both.
What? Explain yourself, please. I am bewildered by such.
Oh shit, we left his axe in that tree. Fuck it, you can stay there.
I'm not touching it.
Well, you saw what happened to the last one. Yeah, he hit the other tree with an axe and then turned into a tree himself. I guess a rare curse of anti-deforestation.
Okay, so as you're walking towards the House of Answers and like Eros is like shouting and people are like curiously looking on, Grildar, you feel your form change and then you shift and eventually Makra, you're holding Grildar and it's been about 10 minutes.
Just going Grildar over his shoulder.
Yeah.
Oh, he's back. How wonderful.
Could you perhaps put me down? It's been a bit rough being shaken while you're walking.
Oh, right, okay, sorry. And I'll just like flip him over and put him on his feet.
And I'll just start walking straight back. You left my axe.
Yeah, I did notice that.
Yeah,
I'll just walk straight back to go get my
you
axe.
if you do a run, you can get there and back within about 2 minutes.
Yeah, we'll wait here for you.
Alright, so as you guys are waiting there, you see that the marketplace is now absolutely buzzing with people. And to your right, Elijah, you get what looks like a gnoll turn to you and go, oddities! Got some oddities for you!
Oh, I do love those.
And as you turn, he goes, woof! Here! And he begins laying out like a small desk of crap. And he goes, look at this coin! And he kind of flicks it. He goes, always lands on heads! Pushes it forward. What about this one? And you see it doesn't always land on heads. There's just 2 heads. It's a counterfeit coin. And then he's like, what about this one? And it's like a baby's toy, you know, the one that a child's toy that you have to flick up and get the ball in the hole.
Ball.
Yeah. And he goes, that one. And what about this? And he pulls forth a vial, and it's got some tinkling, glowing liquid in it, like. And he goes, found it on a dead guy.
That's quite delightful. Allow me to inspect that, please, my good fellow.
Okay.
Would I recognise it at all?
It's kind of like a clear liquid. It's got a kind of like like a kind of fizzy nature to it.
And I haven't seen it before.
Make an intelligence. Oh, fucking! I don't know what. Where did appraisal go, eh?
If he doesn't know what it is, don't let him have it.
Yeah, you don't know what it is.
Looks like useless trash. Get out of my sight.
But it smells good. Fine.
If it's fizzy and it's water, I'm like, it looks like water at least.
So,
I guess you could try drinking it.
I could, but then I would be just as dull and as useless as you, wouldn't I? Now, I suggest you get out of my way, because although your water smells good, you smell like prime tripe. Now move.
Fine. No goods for you. And he like covers his stuff up and moves off, and you just see some half-orc gentlemen in tails and coats approach and go, "Oh, I do say," look at it with monocle and go, "Oh, I'll take that off of you."
I'm like eagerly tapping at Elijah on the shoulder, like,
No, can I have the fizzy water? Please.
I don't have it. He was not exactly forthcoming with his sale pitch.
Yeah, but I need not the fizzy water. I need gold from you.
Why do you need gold from me?
I just look down and there's just like no gold coin pouch or anything on me. I'm just literally wearing like a loincloth. Like,
I'm a bit short. I left it at home.
I tell you what, my friend, I'm more than happy to help an acquaintance out in need. I tell you what, how much do you need?
I'll go over to the weird hyena looking knoll.
There's a half-orc now trying to purchase the fizzy water off of him.
How much has the half-orc gone and pitched out?
He's like, how much would you... And you see that he's got a really kind of clipped Bretonian accent. And he says, oh, how much would you be willing to part with that? And the Null's like, ha, 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 ha. He's going to roll intelligence first. 1 silver. One shiny coin. And he goes, I do think that's a bargain, my young man. Brings out a shiny silver coin.
5 silver.
What? Says the orc. Noel looks back and goes, 5 silver. Done.
No, that was it. That was the easiest auction in the world.
Yeah, no, and then you see the half orc go, what if I was to give you one of the... Produces a gold piece between his fingers.
5 silver and 1 of them.
The half orc looks at you, Makra. That's fair enough. And he takes a step back and goes, good day to you, gentlemen. Walks off. And then Noel goes, yeah, here you go. And
No,
goes to take 1 gold and 5 silver pieces off for you.
He gets fuck all from me. I look at.
Noel looks at you eagerly, Elijah.
Absolutely, but of course, when you get your share back from our dear benefactor, of course, let's call it 5 gold pieces, shall we? And I'll pass him over the money if he wants it, but I'll hold it there.
Right, okay.
And I'll hand over the one, the 15 silver over.
Alright, and then Noel goes, thank you, cheers, here, and hands you the vial and then runs off down one of the alleyways.
Oh, wait, he just packs up the store and legs it.
Just legs it.
Oh,
Cool.
my dear boy, it's not often that someone gets robbed twice in the same span of seconds.
Yep, and you've got the small vial of watery-looking liquid.
Cool.
Alright.
I'm now on minus 50 silver.
Well done.
And I'm now.
Just as Grildar turns bad, Eros is like, really? Buying off a knoll? I've never seen such a thing in my entire life.
You're the one who suggested we work with him.
Yeah, they're not very clever, but they're good scavengers. I think it's from their ancestry.
And I'm just looking confused as if he's self-referencing. Like, oh, you mean yes, indeed.
Wait, can I trust you to get the job done now? I really should be on my way. The day has begun.
Well, how about this? As our friend suggested earlier, we might need to spend some more time due to the nature of this investigation being rather difficult, and we don't really have much to go on. But we probably need some supplies and funds to continue. We've done fair shares of work so far. How about pay us some now for the work we've done so far, and we'll continue.
You can make a persuasion check.
I'll assist him.
All right.
Yes, that sounds like a delightfully excellent idea.
Wow.
Look here. I can spare some. And he goes, but it'll come out your pay at the end.
That is what I intended.
And he hands you all 50 gold pieces each.
Oh, nice.
There we go. And I do believe we have a score to settle, my friend.
You're very on top of things.
Can I change electrum pieces in this to gold pieces? So I've only got copper, silver, electrum, and platinum.
I don't know why you don't have gold pieces in there.
It just says EP instead of GP.
Yeah, I mean, I have all 5, so I don't know what you've done with your sheet.
Yeah, I've only got 4. That's bizarre.
You've probably deleted it.
Probably, but I don't know how.
Just put it in the EP section and we know
Yeah,
that's
that
your
can be my
gold.
gold off
I
then.
don't think I'm going to be giving Electrum out because it's annoying.
What do you give it 50?
Yeah.
So I've got 45.
What was
and all
Elijah
that.
saying?
Oh, that
He was just being a cock and asking for the money straight away.
you did say when you got your share.
Right, and then Errol says, look, get the job done or you owe me that.
Well, of course, you've just given us 50 gold. But yeah,
Good luck. And if you need me, I will be where I always am in Quizitaten.
fantastic. Thank you very much.
He nods, turns on his heels. Here, slave! And then gets in a carriage.
Now, might I suggest that when there's negotiations to be done, Macra, you just stay out of them and be quiet. Let us know your wishes beforehand if need be, but don't get yourself involved.
I don't know what you're on about. I can be very persuasive.
That's not what I meant with negotiations.
Alright, okay.
you call this bluff instantly.
Right, let's go take... I guess we don't need to take you to the magic place anymore, because you're no longer a tree. Let's go to the magic place
Yes,
about this.
we should head to the university anyway and have a look to see if we can find some information on this source of this magic.
Your contact is there?
I have not seen him for quite some time, but it is where I knew him to frequent, and if anyone knows anything about this, it should be there.
Good.
Okay, so what was that? You're going to the university?
Yes.
Okay, so
University.
yeah. As you walk towards the university, it's going to take you some hour to get there. You actually have to bypass the House of Light, and as you bypass Macro, you can actually see your sister on the footsteps with your daughters in the distance, and all of the other young children going towards lessons. And you see the half-orc cleric, Asisa, gathering the children and leading them in. But you walk past that quite swiftly towards the Red Bridge.
So I run up to my kids and fucking bear hug them.
Fair enough. So you do see
them.
Grildor and Elijah do see him run up. And as you do, you see that you've surprised Caesar. Caesar is a muscular, tall half-orc cleric of Ra. She wears the yellow and white robes normally, but always kind of has her armor on. She has a bald head except for a single tail that spreads down in a braid. And as she sees you, Mekra, her smile lights up and her tusks protrude slightly out. She leans forward and gives you that warrior's handshake that you're always giving one another. And she leans
include
in.
her in the bear hug as well.
Yeah. And she leans in and says, "Are you coming over tonight?"
I've got work, but, maybe.
Sure.
Ra's blessings.
Yeah, Ra's blessings to you, Macron. She gives you a wink.
Bright red under the fur.
Yeah.
And then scuttle off as quick as I can.
Okay. And you guys leave, and you have to head past the Hippodrome, the Grand Obelisk again, up through these dusty roads that head through the northern part of Quisitate and round, and over a very large place that everyone calls the Glass Bridge. It's a very kind of like milky white stone colour of a bridge that arcs over towards University District. And the University District is located around the Reed Heath campus, a large gardens of sorts that's dedicated to the erudites. And you can see all the erudites going about their business in their black robes with their books and tomes and their magical discs, carrying their loads around as they run off to their lessons and lectures. And so what's the plan? So as you approach the university's main tower, there is a desk at the front made out of white marble. The place is airy and chill and is quite a respite from the midday sun that was outside. And as you walk in, there's a desk clerk, and half-elvish woman with a pointy nose, specs perched on the end, and her hair is tied back into a very tight ponytail, so tight that you'd think that once she let go, her face would just turn to bulldog wrinkles. And she just kind of like looks at you all and says, "Yes, how can I help you all?"
How old is she? Do I estimate?
For a half-elf, probably about 40-odd.
Okay. So I probably
just
recognize
stood
her,
in the
yeah?
background.
Yeah,
Doing
you,
like-
Because she has probably been a clerk there since all the time that I studied there as well.
yeah, Visna.
Good afternoon, Visna. How are you today?
Oh, it's Grildar. Hello.
Always cheerful.
Yes, it's a fine morning, I'd say.
Yes, we've had a bit of an odd one ourselves, and that's why we came. We need some services. We need access to some of the more eccentric tomes, perhaps, and I need someone to point me in the direction of which tomes we should be using for this. Perhaps one of the students who is still in the early stage of learning but has had some duty organizing the books in the library could assist us. We're willing to pay my fair share to the university's proceeds, of course.
Of course. I can arrange that for you, of course, Grildar. Give me a second. And
Thank you.
She walks over to one of the walls takes a tome out, puts it down, weaves something in the air in front of you all, magic. And as she brings her hand up into 2 fingers, she then begins whispering into the 2 fingers, brings her hand back, flicks her fingers, and then waits, as if she's listening. Someone will be down very shortly.
That's something I see every day.
Mm-hmm. Okay, and about 10 minutes later, a man comes rushing in the black robes with the kind of the pink kind of like scarf like apparel that denotes him as an erudite apprentice. I think that's the title.
Mm-hmm.
Erudite Savant is the one above. Erudite Prime is the woman in charge, and Erudite Apprentice is the students,
Lower
scholars.
rank,
yeah, and he walks in and claps his hands. Ah, yes, a Tor. He kind of like scratches the back of his neck, and you see he's got like a thick, kind of black, wiry beard. His skin is very dark, and his eyes are brown, and he has these curly, long hair that spreads down. He's greasy, and looks like it hasn't been washed for long. Yeah, it's tied around his neck, like down near his neck in like a slight lace. And he says, "How can I help you?" Yeah, the name's Buan. How can I help you?
Hello, Buan. No need to fret yourself. We're not looking for an entire tour. We just need some assistance with finding some books.
Of course, the library.
Yes, we're looking for, and as we'll start walking towards the library, I'll say.
Yeah, he kind of like looks towards Visna. Visna goes, "It's fine. He's a friend. Let him in." And he goes, "Yeah, of course." And you know, Grildar, normally you have to pay 2,000 gold pieces a year for the privilege to be in the library. So
it's a good library.
Yeah, as he leads you towards the library, there's a large bronze door with like a valve, and he kind of like reaches into his pocket, puts a key in, turns. You all hear a satisfying click. He undoes the valve, opens it, goes, "In we go."
Just a moment. Makra, here, go and get yourself something to eat. And I'll unpack the bento box with the food, and I'll give it to him and say, "Wait out here, have your lunch, and we'll be back."
Yeah, I'm just still stood there, like, starfishing, just like letting the cold air hit me, like, "Oh, what? Yeah, sorry, yeah." I'll just go find
I'll just tell him to wait outside, because I don't think that's going to end well with him with a titan wall on his back.
Nope.
Going through the narrow bookcases.
So I'm assuming you and Elijah are going in then.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So as you guys walk into the library, we'll deal with Makra. So you walk in, and as the door closes behind Makra, the door slams closed. You kind of climb up from where you were Star Eagle, I guess, star fishing.
Yeah, starfishing. The stood-up starfish.
And a woman walks past with 2 what look like scholars flanking her. She's tall, kind of like a very, very pale skin for someone who lives in Mokhul. And as she stops to stare at you, a cold breeze hits you, and she stares you with just pure milky white eyes, long flowing blue hair, and she looks towards the scholars and then giggles, says, "Are you laying on the floor?"
Am I not allowed?
Oh, I don't. It's just no one's ever really done it.
No, the tiles are cool.
Yeah, I guess they are. Sorry, where are my manners? And she leans forward and goes, "Zashida," goes to shake your hand.
Makra.
It's just, I'm curious, Makra. And she looks towards the scholars. You see the scholars aren't just scholars. You see they've got weapons hidden underneath those robes. They're like, you think they're bodyguards or some sort. And she says, "Allow me to be forward. It's lunchtime. Care for a drink?"
Yeah, I've got squid.
Squid.
Just smiling very dead wide at her.
And she leads you down one of the side corridors into another room where you see there are a bunch of stone benches in an open-air garden. Picture like you kind of see like those Roman baths with a fountain in the center and the tiles that arc down towards it to let all the rain drip into it, and around it is just surrounded by lush gardens. And she sits at one of the benches, issues you to sit down on the one nearby, begins eating herself while the guards pour her a glass of wine into a silver chalice. And she says, "Would you care?"
please. The people.
What are you doing here, Macra? You don't be offended when I say this, but you don't really strike me as the well-learned type. But if you want to begin your education, it's never too late.
No, yeah, I don't think the old education thing. Maybe for my daughters, but yeah, not for me. I'm with friends. They're in the library.
Oh, okay, friends. That's fair enough. But
yeah,
you've still got time to enjoy a lunch with a stranger, then.
Yeah, there's got to be loads of books in there. Take them all day, I reckon. Yeah, they didn't really say how long. But
all
yeah.
day? Oh, I can't spend all day with you. I'm a busy woman, but I can spend an hour.
Oh, yeah, great. Yeah, people are a lot nicer this side of the city.
Yeah, she smiles and says, "Welcome to the university, Macra." You do notice that a lot of students that walk by are like gasping to see her, like sitting there with you, maybe. But they're like, they keep their eyes lowered when she glares at them.
This is so improper. I can't stand it.
Yeah. Anyway, you have a nice lunch with her, and by the time, we'll just say, like, by the time Grilda and Elijah return, you're probably half cut. But inside the library, so Grilda and Elijah, you walk in, and the first thing is you're on a balcony overlooking the halls. And the halls go on for some 200 feet, and they're split between 25-foot tall bookcases. From where you guys are, you could probably leap on top of one. Like, it's level with where you are. And stairs, grand marble cases lead either side of you into the side of the room. And you see there are desks situated everywhere, and students just scribbling parchment and quill, and copying scrolls and that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Well, this is quite remarkable.
It is. I thought you would quite enjoy a visit. You seem to enjoy the more, well, I say, not necessarily arcane, but the less visceral activities.
Oh, I'm always up for seeing new places. Perhaps a tour. Show me where you head.
Well, let's get to business first, and if we have time left, then certainly. Now, and I addressed the apprentice as well, but I didn't get his name.
Oh, the apprentice was Braun.
Buon or Bron? Buon, okay. Buon, you see what we're looking for is we're looking for anything on more eccentric forms of magic. Perhaps even speculation and rumors would be enough. We don't need scientific evidence. This the creation of a specific object we're looking for. And also, well, this might sound very odd, but purple trees?
Braun laughs and goes, "Purple trees." One moment.
Yes, also... Well, never mind. I'll speak to Vizna previously.
Yeah, Braun goes, "Purple trees. Classic symptom of wild magic."
Good to know. Any clustered spottings of this wild magic, or truly wild?
We have our, wild magic specialists on site, but wild magic is a thing that kind of comes not by learning, and those type of magic users end up in the House of Answers.
Perhaps a visit there then. Thank you for
He says,
information.
This place of higher learning is normally wizards and the like. Sorcerers tend to be more...
Yes, thank you. I have studied here. It's just
sorry.
been a while.
Yes, he's with a 26. He's trying to flex his intelligence. He's like, but you have access to the library. So he does say if there's anything you want to research about this object of yours, there's plenty around here. He goes, if you're looking for eccentric parts, that is led by the erudite savant Solinus. His small collection is on the shelf a couple of feet this way if you want to look.
Very well.
And he, like literally about 10 feet, and there's this small book shelf. It's like 2 shelves on the wall, and there's about maybe 10 primers.
Well, I suggest we get started. This is going to take some time to go through.
Perhaps I can assist you as well.
That is what I suggested.
Yeah, you can both make separate investigation rolls if you want.
Ah, finally, something I'm proficient in.
And he rolls a 2.
Yeah, that's exactly how it's going to work.
No. Okay, so Grilda, you're following the basics that Solanus has dictated down in his magics. Very kind of basic stuff. And he says something in there about like technology, new pieces of artifacts that can be used to imitate cosmic weaving is the word he uses. However, Elijah, while flicking through one book, finds a diagram. And Elijah, I'm going to whisper you something because this is perfect. This
A delight. What happened? Nay.
You just press up and you should retrieve it.
Interesting. Okay. I mean, I'm pretty sure this is going to be like maybe boss level fight era, but is there anyone around? Apart from obviously Grilda? Yeah. Oh, on creamy vellum. I'll just walk away, see if I can get a little bit of place to my own, and I'll just tear the page out. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. Aye, aye, aye.
And I obviously see him get up, so...
Aye, aye, aye.
Yeah, I imagine he doesn't actually walk away. He just like pulls his cloak over it or something. And as he pulls his cloak back, the page is just gone, and I don't know.
It just looks like he's turned the page.
Yeah.
Gilda.
Yes.
Perhaps we should have a conversation at our own leisure privately at some point soon.
What do you mean?
Well, I'm a remarkable eye of coincidences in the sense that I don't quite believe in them. And I feel I've uncovered something.
And you don't feel like you can share here?
I'm mistrustful by nature.
I see. Well, I don't have any reason to distrust the people here, but if you insist.
I'll lean down and I'll whisper something to him. A couple of bookshelves back. Head there and we'll meet in relative seclusion.
Very well.
Don't bring your cat, it's rather unsubtle.
It's very old familiar habits.
Yeah, I think I was muted for about a minute then. I totally forgot to unmute myself. But it was just you two talking, so.
Very well. Lead the way. And I'll
Oh, no.
join you there in a few moments once you've gone.
I'm staying here. I'll meet you there. Well, you'll meet me there, of course.
And I'll just wander off to browse some bigger bookcases where it's a little bit sheltered and doesn't seem to be anyone frequenting at the moment.
Okay, so you walk towards like a random bookcase and you just see Flora and fauna of the crystal wastes. Next one, poisons and remedies of Rhineland. And you're like, huh, never been there. Move on to the next one.
Books, yeah.
Yeah. It's just got loads of different tomes.
Psst, hey.
Yes, I hear you.
Look what I found. And I'll pass the bit of paper over to him.
Okay, so on the bit of paper is a contraption, like a gauntlet of sorts. But the gauntlet is obviously Solanus's type of magics, type of artifacts that he would use. It's like a cog-like contraption that fits like a glove over your wrist, and you can see that loaded in the compartments around it are those small needles that you've seen.
I would also like to point out that I handed him this through a bookcase.
Ah, yeah. Oh, the classic. Yeah.
The classic.
Even
I'll be extremely distraught and react in shock and say, "What did you do?"
Oh no, I found it like that.
Roll deception.
Oh, come on.
I don't think he needs to roll. I don't think that this library has pages lying around like that.
Yeah, fair enough.
Hang on, it could be an amazing deception.
It could be a really good lie.
Yeah, I would still not believe you though. I mean, I studied here. See?
Fuck, yeah, no.
That was the most obvious.
I was so close to being the best lie of the century.
Now, Elijah, you might trick some people with your party tricks and quick wit. However, this page found its way out of one of the books you just took. Why did you take it out?
Well, I've seen this somewhere before. Today, in fact. It seems that this is all the rage on the wrist of every ne'er-do-well in the city.
Interesting. However, this will be found. These books are not kept in shoddy order, and we will soon... Sorry. Go on, Cat. Shoot.
Cat's like, let me out, goddammit.
How
We'll
dare you
soon-
receive a piece of paper from the book?
We will soon have to answer for this. I fear, unless we can restore this somehow, we might be refused entrance to join again. This is not good.
Oh no, whatever will I do? Of course, I'll leave it within your capable hands. And you'll hear some footsteps leave the other side of the bookcase.
Alright. So Buan seems to be consumed in his own reading as you guys return.
Yep. Okay. I will take note of what's on the page.
Yep.
And then once we are ready, I assume that Elijah doesn't want to do any further research here, except to get a tour. So I'll ask Warren to give Elijah a tour, and I'll head back to the front desk.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so Elijah, do you want to go on a tour? Buan is like, look, I can show you all around this library.
Oh, I would love to come with you. I have nothing but a rich and healthy respect for these tomes.
Oh, splendid. And he just takes you on a tour around the edge of like, and until he gets to one, and he goes, now this one is fantastic. He says, have you heard of this new thing going around the city at the moment? It's called Stare. And he picks out one of the tomes.
Yes, it might have crossed my path.
Yes, and he puts the tome on the desk. It's not, when I say tome, it's not a huge book, but he begins flipping it around and he goes, look at this. And he holds it up and he goes, this is the rare desert flower that it's made from. And he goes,
Fascinating.
and you also mix it with the juice of this. And he flicks the page and he shows you a cactus. He goes, pulp it down, dry it out, and when you take it, well, we believe that it actually helps you go to the ethereal plane. But people are just riding the highs of it, of course. We're trying to figure out his actual arcane practices use of it, you know.
Oh, delinquents. Well, it's all the better I know. Thank you, my good man.
He goes,
Could
"It's
I read
fascinating."
this?
Yeah, of course.
Thank you. Where should I return it to once I'm done?
Well, right here, and he points towards the place he took it out of.
Thank you, my good man. Alas, I fear I must return to my companions, but I will return this book in post-haste. Is that sufficient with you?
Of course, you know you can't leave with the book, though, right?
Of course, my friend, of course.
Okay, and yeah, beats his passive perception. Of course it does. And you just slip the book into your cloak, I'm assuming.
Yeah, I'm not going to try leaving with it, though. That was way too ominous.
Okay.
I feel that there might be some alarms on the library with this quality.
I think that might, I might just try and sleight of hand it onto Macra for some lols.
Alright, so yeah.
You're muted, Curtis.
So Grildar, I'm assuming you exit?
Yes.
And you
I'll
back
go
to
and find Visna.
Okay, so yeah, Visna is currently standing near the chalkboard and typing some, she's got some hieroglyphics and some runes, and she goes, no, that won't do, and then she rubs some out with her wrist and then begins writing some more. She turns and goes, Grildar.
Yes, hello Visna, you always were old-fashioned. Writing by hand.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I do respect that. I have some unfortunate news, however.
Unfortunate?
Yes, it seems that, well, perhaps it was a mistake to bring my friend into the library, and I will show her the torn page.
He looks down. Okay.
Now, you know that I can't repair this myself, but I was hoping that you might.
Yes, I could, as long as it's one page.
As far as I'm aware.
And she as you hand it to her, she goes, oh, it's Solinus' work.
Yes, I was wondering, do you have any idea when he'll be back?
Oh, he's due back in a day or two, I believe.
Day or two. Yes, very well. We might have some questions to ask him. Best to go to the source rather than the written material I often find.
Oh, of course. This should be a simple idea of cantrips, mending, just on the book. It should be fine.
That is what I meant, yes.
I mean, there's no point causing a massive ruckus. Not at lunch hour. I'm about to go.
Very well, thank you.
Yes, no problem. Where is your friend?
Well, he did want to have a tour, and Vorn was kind enough to accompany him.
Oh, of course he did. That guy's an eager one.
Yes, well, let's hope that he is as eager in his studies as he is in his use of... Well, never mind.
She narrows her eyes and goes, okay.
They were talking about, what's this thing? The new drug.
She kind of shakes her head. I wouldn't know
Yeah,
anything about that.
I'm not sure. I'll check that with him though.
She's like, I don't know about this new drug. I know everything.
A Garasti man.
Well, apparently there's been a few people who've been investigating its properties, so to say, on the university grounds. By the sounds of it, might want to have a look at them.
Oh, I never. But you know, this is university. Students will party.
Mm-hmm. Nonetheless, should be happening in a controlled environment.
If you say so. Well, what goes on in the dorms stays in the dorms as long as there's no fire like last year.
Girl just chuckles and says yes.
I mean, scorching rays were never meant to be used that way.
I just nod like it.
Yeah.
I sound like, yep. Well,
what that other guy got stuck in his... Well, I never know.
As for the rest of my day, do you know where Macra went?
Where who won? What? Who?
The hairy one.
Oh, yeah. Well, I heard on the grapevine that he's out in the gardens getting drunk with Sashida, and you immediately hear that name and go, oh no. Like, the erudite prime?
Well, she always had strange tastes, but this is... I'm sure she has all the apprentices in quite an uproar with that.
I'm sure she does. Anyway, it's my lunchtime now, so good day, Grildar.
Have a good day.
And Macra in the garden. I'm going to say that the other two come to join you in a second. But after about 35, 40 minutes, you've had about 2 or 3 glasses of wine with Sashida. And she stands, doesn't look like it's affected her whatsoever, the booze. Finishes her meal and says, I must be off, Macra. It was a delight to meet you.
Oh yeah, a true pleasure. You know, if you ever need...
Yeah.
I like stand up and not really know like the appropriate like curtsies and stuff like that, stand up and I bang the table, like knock one of the cups of wine over and everything like that.
She moves forwards to give you a handshake and says, "One day, it would be a pleasure to meet those lovely daughters you mentioned. And can you roll a perception check?"
Oh yeah, definitely. I'm sure they'd really like to meet you. No, I'm on a mode perception.
Nope.
Okay, cool. You just shake your hand, and then she.
But yeah, if you ever need someone who's like strong and everything,
And I'll grab like the handle of the maul, and then like flex at the same time as I'm doing it,
you know where to come find me. Yeah.
Yeah, you said Shire Dell, right?
Yeah. That's the one.
Yeah, charming place. Charming.
Well, hopefully only temporary, but work's slow at the moment.
Good day, Macra. And you see as she stands, the two scholars stand and flank her immediately. And she goes, "Have a good one," and just leaves back into the marble halls.
Enjoy.
Yeah, leaving behind like a cold breeze as she goes.
The hair on my chest prickles a little bit, like as the breeze goes.
Right, okay.
It's just left me the rest of the wine. He's not really big of a drinker.
There's like a third of a bottle left.
Yeah, not really. Doesn't really drink that much, but it's like,
well, can't let it go to waste.
Yeah, as you pick it up, it's like it's got like the symbol of the moon on it, and as you turn it around, it's one of like the official brews of the city. It's like the Mokhul Dark.
It means very little to him as as he continues to swallow that down.
Yeah, and just
is this when these two rock up then?
Yeah, and this is when Rildar and Elijah.
I'll offer like the rest of the bottle to these two. Like,
manners. She was very nice. She was.
Yes, she can be very nice at times.
Shashida, was that her name?
It was Shida, yeah.
All right.
Yes, she is the head of the university.
Oh, right. So very well to do then, yeah?
She sometimes takes pleasure in confusing her apprentices to no end, and I'm sure much confusion was had today. They sometimes wait months, years to be allowed to have lunch with her.
Oh, right. Well,
seeing someone as you casually stroll in and be invited for lunch, I'm sure must have them all in quite the fuss. I'm sure she's laughing on the inside.
Oh, I'm very privileged. She was very nice.
Yes, never without meaning though. So I wonder what she was up to.
Well,
I'll just like pop my chest a little bit, like make the titties dance a bit, like
Go full Terry Crews.
I'm always useful for something.
And I'll just laugh like at his
Terry loves
ignorance of how stuff goes. Indeed, Makra, indeed.
Right, where's the next destination then? What are we doing next?
Well, we should head out and start walking. We'll talk on the way.
Alright,
right. So, yeah, of course. Let's go.
You guys leave the university gardens, head outside of the main university tower, which leads down some steps into the main garden, past all the courtyards. And where's the next destination?
Well, as we're walking and we're out of library grounds, I'll speak to Elijah and say, so, based on the information you found before, I fixed the situation for you, by the way. You're welcome.
You're welcome.
We probably want to have a look at that a bit more. You said it was something you'd seen before today. Would you care to disclose where and lead us there?
That, unfortunately, is where my obligation ends. I can't lead you to the location, but I can do some digging. I proverbially know a guy.
And what is the reason you cannot lead us there? Are you unaware of its location? You
Oh,
mentioned
my
that you'd seen it.
dear friends, it's nothing to do with your validity or unquestionable character. It's more the company I keep that I wish to protect you from.
Right.
Well,
If you
cryptic
really,
enough.
you can roll insight checks if you really want to.
Yeah, go, yeah.
Yeah.
No, I think I don't want to like push too much into his background yet. I'm not suspicious yet.
See how long our close acquaintanceship lasts. Our characters, for some reason, never seem to get on.
No, actually, he's not so quick to judge. So I'll say, well, fair enough, but disclose what you can then to further the investigation.
Thank you, gentlemen. I'll return post haste, of course.
All right, great. Well, I've already had a drink. Shall we go for some more, Grindel? I've got 4 gold now.
Yes, and you should keep it so that you won't have to ask for some more tomorrow. Also, what happened to the other 41?
Oh shit. Oh fuck. Seem to have misplaced that. Oh fuck. Right. I'm sure it'll come up. The university people are nice, aren't they? Yeah, if they find, like, they'll hand it in, lost and found. Yeah.
Yes, gold pieces with no name on it, I'm sure, will not be claimed by anyone.
Oh no, they're in my little sack.
Yes, which is different from every other sack.
Yeah, they've got my initials on the inside.
Mm-hmm. And those are
MR.
And you're the only MR in the city of 3 million. Yes,
you're just wearing like a sobriquet, aren't you? Like a goddamn Roman pair of pants.
Yeah, pretty much. Not that. I've got a belt with some bits on, but not a lot. Yeah.
Just wearing like this fucking loincloth. You're like, it's cool. It's in my sack. No wonder I grilled. I was like, what sack are you talking about?
Yeah, no, yeah, not it was not Noslo did it. She stitched it on the inside. It'll show back up. Yeah.
Either way, I suggest you take more precaution to store your valuables next time.
Right. Okay.
Perhaps something akin to. Well, how about this? I will try and see if I can make you something that will attach to the strap you have for your hammer. How about that?
Oh yeah, that'd be great. Or I could just let you look after it. I'm sure you'd be fine with it, wouldn't you? Or I could carry it. Actually, yeah. You don't want the extra weight.
It's not about the weight. It's about the times when you might be separated from me and still need your coin.
Oh yeah, there is that as well. Right. Okay. Yeah. Sure. Right. What do we do now then? Now that our creepy mask friend's gone.
Is Elijah gone yet, or is he still walking?
He did say he was leaving.
I went.
Yeah. Okay. Well, perhaps you should go home and see your children. I'm sure they'll be happy to see you home.
Oh right. Okay. We calling it for a day then. Where shall we meet up tomorrow?
I'll let you know.
All right. Okay. Yeah. You know where I live. Big green ugly bastard on the top floor.
And I nod.
And I'll make my way home.
Okay. So Macro, what about you, Grodda? Where are you going?
I'm just going to the family mansion. I did not come there exclusively to see Lazria, so. After being sent on this errand on her behalf, I have some other things to do there.
All right, so you go do your thing. Is it okay if we go over to Elijah then? Because if Grilda or Macro want to do anything straight away, we can do that.
No, it's just an evening catching up with family, basically.
All right, yeah, fair enough. So you head home and catch up with family, and as usual, you're welcomed as a guest and fed and given all of the dishes and the whole, the whole family shebang. About 3 of you that turn up. I will tell you which ones of your brothers and sisters turn up.
Sure, but feel free to skip over to Elijah first.
So Lazia, naturally.
Because you managed to pluck herself out of bed then.
Yeah. Tisrin comes home for a bit. And Anrin, who you obviously missed at the university.
Yep.
So conversations as usual, and your mother is the one leading the conversations, talking about how everyone's day was, and then curiously inquires on the new job that you're on for the Magister.
Well, I'll tell you all about it, but let's have some food first.
Yep. And dinner goes by. Macro, you head home. It's roughly mid-afternoon when you arrive home, and your sister is going about her business. She's got one of the rugs out the back and is beating it down. She goes, Makra! Makra! Is that you?
Yeah. What's up?
Get your furry ass out here!
Okay.
And as you wander out, you see she's beating one of the fur rugs from the house to oblivion. Like she's got like a club and she's just beating it. Keeps and trying to lean on the crutch of her main leg, and she's hitting it.
No, sir, you need to take it a bit easier.
No. And she grits her teeth and she goes, one of them has lice.
Oh, it's this fucking city.
And you begin scratching your chest going, oh no, you've been absent-mindedly doing it all day.
I hate the city.
This is it's what it's like to have children.
Yeah, I guess they bring all this stuff in. But look here. We can have something nice for tonight.
And then I'll hand her like 3 of my 4 gold that I haven't lost.
She looks at it and goes,
I need some for tomorrow.
Fine. She goes, I'll head down to the market now. You know, when she says market, she means like the small amount of stalls on the beach. She says,
yeah.
I heard they caught a hippo shark. I will go buy some of that.
Yeah, I saw that on the beach. Yeah, big thing. Big ugly. Yeah.
Yeah, when you saw it, it was like 20 feet from tail to head. Like, and they're called hippo sharks because they've got like a bludgeoning set of teeth rather than sharp.
Oh, no, yeah.
And like a whale, like kind of like a whale shark type mouth, but with massive hippo like teeth, and they crush and break their prey into bits and then swallow it whole.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'll be nice. That will. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll finish this rug off for you.
Good. And then she begins waddling down out, and above you begin hearing the yells and arguments of your neighbours again.
Oh, I said no.
I'll finish beating the rug, and then I'll probably start training or something in a bit. I've probably got some heavy, just cast iron stuff I've managed to scavenge in the back, and I'll just get a bit of exercise in because I've not really done much today other than walk around.
Mm-hmm.
Get it, work a bit of a sweat up before I go down for a swim before food.
All right, and Elijah, what are you doing, Elijah?
I'm going to return to Bastard's Blade.
All right, so you head over to Newtown, taking the new chain elevators up to the cliffside instead of taking the bridge. It's quicker to take the new elevator.
Screw the bridge.
Yeah, up into Newtown, where Nasians, Bretonians, and all kinds of people go about their own business. This place is for foreigners. And everything's built in kind of like the classic style from Bretonia, you know, blue tiles, bridges that travel between windows. And as you reach Bastet's Blade, a large establishment, and from the outside, it's kind of like in an S shape. Yep. As you walk through the door, you see Bruce is at the bar talking to one of the barmaids, going, "Yeah, and you never guess what she did? She tried to run!" And everyone around him begins laughing, like, ha 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 ha. And he slams his massive fist down on the table, knocking everyone's drinks over. And he just turns to see you and he goes, "Oh, Elijah, you're back so soon."
Hello, Brucey. Oh, yes, your wit and stories. I'm such ashamed to miss it.
Are you here to see the madame?
If she's available, I understand that seeing her twice in one day is less than desirable for a woman of her schedule.
Well, I'll tell you what, I'll head up and ask her what she's up to, yeah?
Thank you, Brucey, and I'll slip him a silver piece.
Yeah, you know how to treat him. And she puts it into his kilt, heads upstairs, and then within a moment comes back down and goes, "Yeah, she's free. Come on up."
Thank you, Brucey. I'll share a drink on my return.
Nice. And
just a quick question, Liam. Sorry. Yeah. My family's mansion, where is that?
In the Indolai Valley.
Okay.
Yeah, so in the nice part of town.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, and so as you walk into the room, same thing, except she's opened the shutters this time, and a bit of light, cascades in, and you see the motes of dust dancing in the air as it lights up her desk. She sees she's got like a ledger out, and she's writing stuff in. She looks up. The amber eyes regard you, She smiles, showing those pearly white canines and the scar along the middle of her tongue, and she says, "Sit." Begins scratching again.
Thank you for hosting me again, madame. I understand it's a deep inconvenience.
No, not at all. Can I help you with something then, Elijah? You know, our friendship is rather business-like. I don't suppose you've arrived to say hello.
No, unfortunately not. The one I require at the moment is of information. If, of course, you're forthcoming, your business has always been your own.
Ask away.
The lady that was here earlier before our most auspicious meet, she was wearing something on her hand. I was wondering if I could ask you a two-part question. Who is she, and what was the strange device she was wearing?
Blinks. Her amber eyes regard you. There's a silence as she says, "Horoth."
Is her name, of course.
Yes, and her boyfriend.
Interesting. And the device?
Now that I do not know.
Interesting still. Perhaps you would be willing to part with the most delightful piece of information as to where I can locate this froth.
And a smile creeps across her face. And she looks at you and she says, I see that I can see that fate is smiling down upon me because, you know, I was going to try and get rid of them by the end of today already.
Oh, I do love it when we can help each other out.
Yes, it seems to have worked rather fortuitously, don't you think?
Delightfully so.
But before I tell you why, how, why, all of the questions, I will not further explain myself until you have further explained why you want them.
I'm afraid there is no mystery to it. I appear to have found myself some work with a most erratic gentleman who's willing to pay quite handsomely for my services, and it's just one little cog in our investigation.
Ah. And then she leans forward, stops scratching, and goes, Elijah, when you are done with these two reprobates, because that is what they are, they have something in their possession that I want.
It is yours, madame.
They have a satchel.
Is there anything within this satchel whose contents I should be particularly careful with?
Stuff from the Yellow Desert. Stuff that I require. Stuff that they won't give me.
Very well. Shall I return it in exchange for perhaps having a little chat before I snuff them out?
Yes.
Delightful. Is there any particular manner in which you wish the deed to be done?
No. Be imaginative, darling. I know that you are.
Oh, I do love working with you. Until later today.
Okay. I look forward to hearing of their early demise. And here, he smiles, says, you'll find Hroth and Omar at the Knife and Hound. Probably asleep right now on the second floor in one of their rooms, their many hideouts.
Fantastic. They'll be, or should I say, their strings will be cut before they awake.
Delightful. And Elijah, she then issues forth towards the door.
Madame.
Okay, so as you go to leave, Elijah, you
Yep.
stop dead in your tracks. Sweat begins to prickle all along the back of your nape as you hear a voice in your head. A voice that you're not used to, but a voice that is normally told to you through Lady Obsidian. And you hear the words, new target, And then it goes silent for a second. Quietus Blades. Reward. 50 platinum. Target name. Lady Obsidian. And the voice echoes in your head as it deteriorates.
Oh, well, I do love a thickening plot. And I'll smile and leave the office.
And that's where we will end today's session.
Aye, aye, aye.
Whoa, he just vanished straight away. Yeah, he's like, I'll end today's session. See you later. Instantly gone.
we end the scene, fade into black as Makrar finishes his training. He does some martial drills in his very small back garden with his tartan maul, and then fades to black as we see him just doing laps just outside of the common docks.
You're gonna need a montage.
Okay, so that's where we'll end today's session. We'll pick this up hopefully next week with Solanus.
Cool.
In tow, so we can introduce him.
Yeah.
Yeah, with hope. Jesus.
Peace out.
Fraud.